Well, hello, family, friends, and YouTube. Well, looks like we're at the end of the year, and everybody is putting out their end of the year review for their YouTube video channel. And I guess I don't want to be any different. I'm learning from the best. I know that Cruiseman put his out, Robert White put his out. So those are the guys I learned from. Of course, Slappy put his out. And so I figured, I guess I have to do one. Nothing like waiting till the last minute on New Year's Eve to put your entire video for the year together. So this year is my first year of doing this. I have a little over 85 videos I did this year. I started doing the videos on January 22nd. And that's basically where this all begins, when the purchasing of my new gold wing, my first brand new gold wing, known as Bluebell. Now, Bluebell is a 2022 bagger version, had 53 miles on her from the dealership. Couldn't get used to those red valve covers, and I did like the bike because it helped with my double knee replacement, being able to just throw my leg around it. But anyway, when I brought her home, it took 7 miles on there. And then I was doing my backdrop because I was new to the videos, so I was doing my kitchen as a backdrop. Wife wasn't a fan of that, but I had to do what I had to do, and eventually I was able to find an alternative. Then on February 2nd, I got the Show Chrome tall windshield, extra tall and wide. Some people said it took away from the sporty look, but I wasn't looking for a sporty look. I was looking for comfort and being able to travel distances. So that's why I needed the taller windshield, so I could get that wind from beating me to death. And then, February 7th, I went on my very first trip, my little haul 4-hour ride. I wanted to see how comfortable the ride would be. So I went on a trip to Tullahoma, Tennessee, to the Tennessee Correction Academy, where I was once the superintendent of the academy. And then after that, in March, I put a lot of accessories on Bluebell. I put the rack on the back, the luggage rack. I did the kickstand pad. I also did the traction dynamics dipstick extender. I did the engine guard for the bottom of the bike. I added a lot of little nuances. I purchased the bags that go inside the little compartments. These bags were pretty expensive for what they do, but I loved my back rack there. That would allow me to haul more stuff. I did not realize that I wouldn't be able to haul too much. And again, I got the organizers in there and including the bags on both sides. And then we moved to April. In April, we were all dealing with the recall of the fuel pump. And I had mine inspected and it came back okay. Everything cleared. But for a moment there, all of us were taking our seats off and looking at the fuel pump and trying to figure out the special code to determine whether or not yours was part of the recall. And it didn't matter, the dealer had to do it. Then I made the biggest purchase of all time, the best purchase, which is the big blue motorcycle lift. This is, I'm sorry, is by far the best thing I have ever invested in, and I would do it again 1,000 times. This really makes life easy working on the motorcycle. And then on May 11th, I went to Southern Honda Powersports to meet the one and only Cruiseman. Originally went there for a meet and greet. He and I talked for a little bit before the dealership even opened. Both of us got there early. We were the only ones there. we talked for a little bit. We talked shop, we talked motorcycles. We basically hit it off really good. And then one thing led to another, and the shop opened up, and in we went. And next thing you know, I'm purchasing another Goldwing. I'm trading in Bluebell, and I'm trading Bluebell in for a 2024 DCT Tour, and this was amazing. I wouldn't have been able to do it without Cruise Man. Then I had to change, of course, my logo, my intros, so I had Snowee on the front of the bike. And as that was on May 11th. Again, that was a big meet and greet event. And so the dealership was great. Southern Honda Powersports is just simply awesome. They transferred everything off of Bluebell onto Snowee. My windshield, my traction dynamics engine guard, my dipstick, everything. I mean, they put everything over onto my new bike, which was surprising. I did not know that was part of the service, but they did it. Then I took the bike home and parked it in the garage, and there she is, all OEM, sitting right there, except for the windshield. But there's Snowee on May 11th, before all the changes have happened to her. In June, I had to focus more on my office remodel. I'm still working on my office, and I was getting it done. I had to stop what I was doing and start focusing more on the office because, again, it's not for YouTube videos. It's actually for software development that I'm doing in retirement, which I used to do. On July 1st, I went to my childhood home. It was a major disappointment. I have a video out on it showing it, but 51 years later, returning to your childhood home, I guess you can't expect much. And anyway, July 6th, I returned to Southern Honda Powersports because I was getting my ultimate seat. It was on back order. I didn't want the alligator print or anything like that. I wanted the smooth surface one. And of course, it was the tall boy, thick one. I'm gonna eventually do a review on it because after riding to Texas, it was great. But anyway, here's Snowee before she had the seat put on, and of course, I went to Southern Honda Powersports, and while you're there, you're not going to get just a seat. You're going to walk away with other things, but here I have the ultimate seat, the tall boy version. It comes with a backrest. It's pretty thick. I used to flat foot the ground, and now I come on the balls of my feet. It's recommended to have the tall boy if you're 6 foot tall, and if you weigh 250 or 200 or more. I can vouch for that. It is an extremely comfortable seat, but I had to get some other things while I was there. I mean, I got the luggage rack and I got the trunk light. Both of them are the LEDs. They are from Gold Strike, and they have that built-in programmable lighting system, so you can program it to the way that you want. Of course, I needed the power distribution block also, which is underneath the seat. You can't see it. Then on July 27th, I went ahead and got the lower cowl lights. Everybody was having them on their bike, and those things make a world of difference. They really lighten things up. Now, August 2nd, I went ahead and put the Gold Strike extended rear fender on, and I also put the show chrome extended front fender on. Had those put on, well, I installed them myself. And then I put the Van True on August 4th. I put the Van True camera system in place. Now that's a must-have for anybody. Then on September 4th, I put these controversial crash bars. A lot of people don't like the look. I like that look. I didn't like the rounded ones that other manufacturers made. So I was happy with them. They matched the bike. On September 20th, I put the upper and lower air deflectors up by the mirrors. I put the upper deflectors up there, and then the lower deflectors around your knee area. And that, I can tell you, is simply amazing because it makes a world of difference in the wintertime when you're riding your bike. I didn't think it was going to make that much of a difference, but it does. And you can adjust that one louver right there, and you can turn it inward, and you can get the engine heat in the wintertime right off the engine. It's like having a heater. Then on September 21st, I getting preparing to go to Texas. I had to get an alarm system put on my bike because I didn't want to leave it at the hotel without any kind of alarm system on it. So I got an affordable thing from Amazon. I had a video on it as well. Then on September 28th, the Panicle, I installed the radiator guards, uh, simply in case there was some road debris that flies up, it wouldn't hit the radiator. It's good for, if you're traveling with rocks or anything like that, rocks flying up from the road and hitting your radiator. But it wasn't that expensive, so I figured why not. Then I got what I think is probably one of the best things. That is the foot spoilers. On September 28th, I installed the foot spoilers. They're the only thing on the motorcycle that gives me a drag signal. It lets me know that I'm riding recklessly or taking curves too fast because they will scrape. They're the lowest point on the entire bike. So I kind of use them for that purpose. But they were great in the winter. My feet do not get cold. I can ride in all temperature now. And I just wish they just had the black chrome screws instead of the black screws instead of the chrome ones. And then the handlebars and the ball mounts and all that. It's a big thing. For me, it was a big thing to have everything black. I wanted the base black. I wanted everything underneath the ball. I wanted them black. And I also wanted on the right side, I wanted the handlebar to look the same as the left, where it looked like it came from the factory. So you can see that one, but on the right side, most people have these screws that stick out and all that. This one here made it look like it's from the factory. Then on November 16th, it was the meet and greet of the Brotherhood. Uh, this is where I met the Texas crew, Cruise Man, Tom from Tom Adventures, Road Glide, Robert White, the regulars, Don. Everybody decided that they were going to make a special breakfast for me. This is a Saturday, and they don't do this on Saturday. They do it on Sundays, but there's Road Glide, but they do it on Sundays. And these guys took the time to do a special meet and greet for me for breakfast on a on a Saturday, and I was honored that all of them got together and agreed to do it. And of course, the night before, a couple of us went out to dinner. We had dinner and had lunch with each other. It was a very good trip. I enjoyed it. I really truly did. Um, then I got the treat of the lifetime. I got to go and take Snowee and put Snowee inside Cruise Man's garage. Now, right there on the right, it's Cruise Man's bike. There's Robert White, but there's Cruise Man's bike, also now known as Shadow. And Shadow moved out of the way from me and Snowee. So there's Snowee sitting in Cruise Man's garage. I'm serious, folks. It was an honor of a lifetime. May not mean like much to some, but to me it was a very big deal. Then on December 23rd, baby Snowee, my grandson's wanted baby Snowee, and he didn't like that being called baby, so he wanted to name it Snowee Jr. So that's what it's called, Snowee Jr. Then, thanks to Ernest, he gave me the idea to contact the DMV and get a customized plate named Snowee. So that should be in by the end of the month. Then I finally completed my office in December. I got all of my monitor mounts everywhere, and of course I have a complete system. On off to the right over here, that's where my wife eventually wanted to put her little stuff, her area. But off to the left, that's my grandson's. Yes, that's very expensive computers and stuff for my grandson, but that's his area. And then I had to put my posters on the wall so they would appear in the backdrop of these videos. There's Snowee, Just Live Your Life, Go Wing Tours. And this is basically my software company, Haldermac Portable Software Solutions. So that's why I have that there. And then you can see from a glance here one of the beautiful pictures, and it's from Robert White. That also appears as a backdrop in my videos. Well, as I said, that pretty much wraps up the 2024 review of this year. As new to YouTube, new to content creating, but I basically do it for documentation, to document my life, but I also enjoy doing what I'm doing. I want to thank all the viewers that watch this channel, and as we move forward, I should get better as we go. This wasn't the perfect video, but it's been all thrown together in the last 6 hours. So I did the best I could in the short amount of time. But until next time, just live your life.